Good evening. This is the 10th video lesson on current electricity. Maybe the last video lesson of the chapter. We are going to conclude the chapter today. Yesterday we have started a potentiometer. We discussed what are actually the uses of potentiometer and what is the principle on which it works. We also have shown the physical arrangement of potentiometer. Potentiometers generally consist of 4 meter to 6 meter long wire made up of an alloy in order to increase its sensitivity. And in principle, we discussed that the potential fall per unit length or the potential drop per unit length when a constant current flows in a wire of uniform thickness will always remains constant. So this we have used this formula from Ohm's law. V equals to IR. This I into R is nothing but rho into L by A. So this V. So when a constant current I flows in a wire of uniform thickness A with a constant resistivity rho, then V is directly proportional to L, or V by L equals to constant. This also will be written as potential gradient. Potential gradient of the wire remains constant. Remains constant. This is the principle. So when you plot a graph between length versus the potential, so it is actually a linear equation. So the graph will be like this, V by L. So in order to achieve the sensitivity of the potentiometer, either L should be very large or V should be very small. So for sensitivity, either L be large or V be small, so that altogether V by L is very small. V by L is very small. What is V by L here? This is y-axis and this is x-axis. V by L is nothing but what? Slope. Okay. Therefore, smaller the slope of the graph, smaller the slope, because the V by L should be small. V by L is nothing but slope. Slope is nothing but V2 minus V1 by L2 minus L1, delta V by delta L. So V minus 0 by L minus 0. This can be written as V by L. So smaller the slope, okay, greater is the sensitivity. Greater is the sensitivity. So you can expect one mark questions on this concept, that we have two potentiometers for whose the graphs are like this. This graph is drawn for potentiometer A and this is drawn for potentiometer B. So which potentiometer is more sensitive? Smaller the slope, greater is the sensitivity. Slope of A is less than slope of B. Therefore, A is sensitive, more sensitive. Okay. So this type of questions can be expected on potentiometer. What is the one mark questions mein? What is the SI unit of potential gradient? We discussed many times, if a physical quantity changes with length or a space coordinate, then we call it as a gradient. Potential gradient means change in the electric potential with respect to length. So V by L. So unit will be volt per meter. Volt per meter. You know, this also equals to electric field. Volt per meter is also electric field, because we have E equals to minus dV by dr Only if you write the magnitude, this V by R. So V is nothing but volt, R is nothing but meter. Volt per meter can also be the unit of electric field. Okay, so like this, questions can be asked by changing the different concepts. Right. Now we will discuss today how the potentiometer can be used to determine the internal resistance of a given cell. And the second application is how it can be used to compare the EMFs of two given cells. So first one, to determine the internal resistance of given cell using potentiometer. PM stands for potentiometer. Fine. So now let us draw the circuit. So here point A, wire. Let us take only a 4 meter long potentiometer wire. Our potentiometer in the lab has only 4 meter. So now this is 1 meter stretch. Okay. So here there is a metal strip. And from here 101 centimeter will begin. It will come here. And here is another metal strip. From here, so 200 is over. 201 will begin from here. So here 300 will end. 301 will begin here. And this is your 400. So this point I name it as A. And this point I name it as B. So this is 0th centimeter. And this is 400 centimeter. Now, so in order to drive this circuit, we have a battery plus minus. We have an ammeter. Okay, better keep here ammeter because it is the current that is measuring device. So let it be here in adjacent to this one. Here there is a key to allow the current to flow or not. And here there is a rheostat. Like this. Now this entire thing is known as primary circuit. Primary circuit. So insert the key so that current will flow like this away from positive terminal. It will come like this. It will go like this, like this, like this, and it will come out. The current type. What is the purpose of this rheostat is, we said in the principle, when a constant current flows in a wire of uniform thickness. So this 400 centimeter long wire has got uniform thickness. Now we have to see that a constant current flows in the circuit. To check whether suppose a 2 ampere current is continuously flowing. So your ammeter reading should be always 2 ampere. Then only you are keeping a check on the current. Suppose if current is increasing or decreasing, then you take the help of the rheostat. If current is increasing, then increase the value of resistance through rheostat so that current value is brought back to 2 ampere. If current is decreasing, then decrease the value of resistance so that more current can come out from the battery so that again it comes back to 2 ampere. So purpose of rheostat is only to control the current. Ammeter is only to check whether it is a constant current or not. Otherwise, these things are auxiliary only. They do not play any role in experiment. We can directly connect a battery also, provided battery supplies a constant current. Fine. Now, in the secondary circuit, okay, let me make this something of this sort. This is 0 centimeter, right? 0 centimeter. Fine. Now, the end A of the potentiometer wire is connected to positive. Now my aim is to determine the internal resistance of a given cell. So now I will connect a cell here whose internal resistance I want to find out. So this is E. Okay. This I will call it as E0, where E0 is EMF of driving cell. EMF of driving cell. I name it as driving cell because this only will drive the circuit. It will supply energy, it will supply the current. E is EMF of testing cell. EMF of testing cell. That means the cell whose internal resistance is determined, that I call it as a testing cell. Okay, right. Now, so in parallel to this one, I will connect a resistance box which can have a resistance R. The resistance box will have plug and key system. Whenever I remove a key, that much resistance I am offering. Okay, right. Now these two are connected with the help of a key. This I call it as K1. This I will call it as a K1 because K is already used. Now to this combination, I connect a galvanometer. Galvanometer should be showing a null deflection at a particular point. So this galvanometer is connected to a jockey. So this jockey point J. So this jockey, this wire can begin from here. You can go on touching with the help of jockey on the potentiometer wire. Okay, and I stopped it here because my galvanometer is showing what? Null deflection. Okay, now how to perform this experiment? So make the connections as shown in the figure. Okay, now this key should not be put in the plug. Without inserting key, K1, obtain balancing length. L1. Now listen carefully. What is this balancing length? Here there are two cells. One is a driving cell. Other is what? Testing cell. Okay, right. This is only to drive the circuit. Now, with the help of jockey, go on touching on the potentiometer wire. Like this. So you will find deflections in the galvanometer. When you reach exactly this point J, then your galvanometer will stand on 0. So this is 0 of the galvanometer. Here I told us in last class, there will be 30 divisions like this. Here also there will be 30 divisions. So it may be deflecting this side towards 30 for all these points other than point J. When the jockey touches this point J, it will come back to 0 and it will be staying there. That means you obtained null deflection. What do you mean by null deflection? Null deflection means current supplied to the galvanometer will be 0. Where is galvanometer? It is here. This circuit is called secondary circuit. Okay, right. So here this will be sending current like this. Okay. Now what about this key? Key is what? Open. Means this entire upper part is open. So no current will go. Open circuit means that particular part offers infinite resistance. So now resistance box is offering infinite amount of resistance. No current will flow here. So the current will come down only. No current will go up. Now you see this current, it is coming over here. I remove this. This current is coming here. Which current? This current. Driving cell current. Now it will find two ways. Some current will go upwards and remaining current will go like this. Are you following? This current is split into two ways. Some current will go upwards, some current will go into the wire. When these two currents are equal in magnitude, and as already they are in opposite direction, the net current in this part will be 0. Which part? This point, like this. In the remaining part there will be a current. Here there will be a current flowing. Here there will be a current flowing. Here also current will flow. Here also current will flow. Here also current will flow. Only current in this path will be 0. Now, when do we obtain a zero current in the galvanometer means at the two end points of the galvanometer, this galvanometer, this one point, this is the other point. Potential at this point must be same. Therefore, the potential difference between these 2 points is what? Zero. Therefore, no current will flow in the galvanometer. So, which are those two end points here? One is point J, other is this point. There is no current in this path now because it's open. So, this point. Okay. Now, let me call this as, where is this point? This point is nothing but what at A. This point is nothing but at A. So, VAJ means the potential difference between points A and J must be equal to EMF of the cell. Rather, okay, let me tell you, let me come in another way. Now, galvanometer will show zero deflection. Galvanometer will show zero deflection only when this point and this point have the same EMF or potential. This point and this point have the same potential. So, potential difference between points A and J must be equals to EMF of the testing cell. Clear? When the potential drop across the wire AJ, when potential drop across the wire segment AJ, is equal to EMF of testing cell, then galvanometer shows GM, means galvanometer shows null deflection. At what length it is showing null deflection? Let us say at a length L1. So therefore, EMF E is proportional to L1. Clear? Now, in second step what I do? Insert the key in K1. Now, insert key in K1. What will happen? This current not only coming downwards but also will go upwards, because now the circuit is closed. Okay, so therefore, now if there is a small bulb in the place of resistance box, the bulb will glow because of this current. So therefore, the load is drawing some current from the cell. That means the EMF will fall down to its potential difference. Do you remember? This is a cell of EMF E, right? You connect a galvanometer, voltmeter here. It will read 1.5 volt. Now you connect a small torchlight bulb. The bulb will start glowing. Now this will come down to 1.2 volt. So 1.5 volt is called EMF. 1.2 volt is called what? Potential difference. So potential difference value will be smaller than the EMF. So therefore now obtain balancing length L2. To balance an potential difference of 1.5 volt, you are using wire of AJ. Maybe this is a 100 centimeter, 200 centimeter, 260 centimeter wire. Balances 1.5 volt. To balance 1.2 volt, do you require more length or less length? Obviously, you require a less length, maybe a 250 centimeter. So therefore, the balancing length L2 will be less than the initial balancing length what L1. This balancing length L2 is obtained with potential difference, terminal potential difference of the cell. So now V is proportional to L2. Equation 1 and this is equation 2. From 1 comma 2, take the ratio E divided by V equals to L1 by L2. E equals to K into L1, V equals to K into L2. The same constants for this equation, that will be what cancelled out. So that's why I am writing directly E by V equals to L1 by L2. But you remember this equation, what is that? V equals to E minus IR. Therefore, E equals to V plus IR. So in the place of E, I will write V plus IR whole divided by V equals to L1 by L2. The partial fractions 1 plus I by V multiplied by R equals to L1 by L2. Okay. Now, you take this 1 that side, so you will get 1 plus V equals IR. V equals to IR. I by V is nothing but 1 by R. So this will be R by R equals to L1 by L2. So R by R equals to L1 by L2 minus 1. So R equals to L1 by L2 minus 1 multiplied by R. So you know initial balancing length 260 centimeter. You know the final balancing length 250 centimeter. So this is 260 divided by 250 minus 1 multiplied by R is some say 50 ohm or 10 ohm, anything you keep here. So this 0 will cut here. 25 by 26 is nothing but 100 by 4. 1.04. This is 1.04 minus 1 is 0.04 into 50. Okay. So if this is 100, this will be 4. As this is 50, it will be only 2. So the internal resistance of your cell is what? 2 ohm. Okay. So first balancing length is obtained with the EMF of testing cell. First balancing length is obtained with the EMF of testing cell. The first balancing length में the potential drop across the length L1, is equal to EMF of the cell. In the second case, when key is introduced here, then the cell will reduce its EMF to its terminal potential difference. So therefore, the point will shift over here. New point J dash. So A J dash will be 250 centimeter, which will be balancing a voltage less than EMF. So that is nothing but terminal potential difference. So V proportional to L2. So how are you writing E proportional to L1, V proportional to L2? This is the principle which we have discussed at the beginning. What is that? V equals to IR. This is nothing but I into R is nothing but rho into L by A. Rho I constant. V proportional to L. So V proportional to L is nothing but E proportional to L1, V proportional to L2. The same principle we are applying for these two. So this way you can obtain the internal resistance of the cell. Okay, right. Now we will see the second part of the circuit. So this I can use as it is, but there are so many overwritings. So therefore I remove this and draw another fresh diagram for second aim, that is to compare the EMFs of two given cells. So now second one is to compare EMFs of two given cells using potentiometer. PM means potentiometer. So quickly, so this is my point A. Okay, so 100 centimeter. Here there is a metal strip and 200 centimeter. Again there is a metal strip, 300 centimeter. Here there is another metal strip and this is 400 centimeter. Some potentiometers can have 600 centimeter also. So now this will be connected like this. Here is an ammeter. Okay, here is a key. Okay, sir, in previous circuit key was down. Nothing like that. All of them are in series. You can connect anywhere. Plus, minus. Here is your rheostat. So this is connected here like this. So orange. So this EMF is what? E0. Nothing but what? Driving cell. So current will go like this. Current will go like this. It will come out like this, like this. Sorry. It will come out like this. Now this is called primary circuit. In secondary circuit, what I do? I take a cell of EMF E1 here. Another cell of EMF E2 I will take here. I connect both these to this point. So plus, plus. Remember children, positive of driving cell, positive of testing cell 1, positive of testing cell 2, all of them are connected to a common point A. If you reverse the terminals, you will never get the balancing length. Okay, right. Now, so now here I will have a two-way key. This is K1 and this is what? K2. Fine. Now from the middle of this one, I take the galvanometer and here is jockey point J. Fine. So this jockey can slide from this point, go on touching like this, like this, like this. Fine. Now what do you do? First insert, okay, this we will call it as K1 and we call it as K2. Now insert key in K1 or insert key K1, no problem, it is our understanding. Right. So this circuit will be closed now. If I insert, this circuit will be what? Closed. This is K2 is open, with K2 open, with K2 open. So no part of this circuit will participate in the experiment. E2 is just lying idle. That offers an infinite amount of resistance. Fine. Now, go on touching the wire with the help of jockey from this point, 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 this point. When you come exactly to this point, your galvanometer was showing zero deflection. For all other contacts, it was deflecting towards right or towards left. Only at this point J, it is showing a zero deflection. Now the question is, why it is showing zero deflection at point J means the potential difference between A and J is nothing but EMF of this cell. Well, the potential difference of, that is if this is a 1.5 volt cell, the potential difference between point A and point J will be equals to 1.5. Therefore, your driving cell should always be greater than your testing cell, because it has to drive so many things. Here is ammeter, here is rheostat. Some potential drops will be there as they are offering some resistance. So at least if you are using 1.5 cell, 1.5 and 1.5, this should be at least 3 volt. So unless you have a driving cell EMF greater than the EMF of testing cells, you cannot do this experiment. You cannot obtain the balancing length. So therefore, if this is 1.5, let it be 3 volt. Okay. So two observations you have made. What are they? The positive terminals of the cells are connected to the same point, common point. Right. Second one is, you have taken care that the EMF of driving cell must be greater than the EMF of the testing cells. If this is 1.5, this is also 1.5. Then what will happen? The net will be 1.5 only. They cannot add to each other. Now they are connected in what? Parallel. So now we discussed the parallel combination in previous classes. If n number of identical cells are connected in parallel, the net EMF is equal to EMF of a single cell. So 1.5 volt cells, 100 you have connected them in parallel, the net EMF of the combination is 1.5 volt. So now two cells, if they are equal, it will get 1.5. If they are not equal, what is the formula? E1 R2 plus E2 R1 by R1 plus R2. That formula you have to use. Okay, no problem. So now insert key in K1 with K2 open. When Vaj equals to E1, then galvanometer shows null deflection. Null deflection. So by the principle, what is the principle? V proportional to L, our potential gradient is constant. So by the principle, comma, E1 is proportional to L1. Or now, what do you do next? Remove key from here. So, remove key from K1 gap and insert in K2. And insert in K2. So now this part will be closed. This part will be open. Okay, right. Now you have to obtain the new balancing length. So start your experiment from here. Go on touching. Observe the galvanometer. Galvanometer will be deflecting either left or right, but it will not show 0. When it reaches some point over here, this is J dash. How much it is? So let us say this was 260 and this is 300 and it begins from here. So 320 centimeters, let us say. So L1 was your 260 centimeter and L2 is nothing but what, 320 centimeter. Okay. Then what does it mean? So now remove key from K1 and insert in what, K2. Okay. Now when Vaj dash equals to E2, then galvanometer shows 0 deflection or null deflection. This implies your E2 is proportional to L2. Is this clear? Fine. अगर दोनों cells एक identical है, then you definitely get the second balancing length exactly 260. Means here itself you will get the balancing length. Fine. Now if they are different, no, then the balancing lengths will be different. Generally, we use Leclanche cell or Daniell cell in this experiment. Obviously, you don't get only 1.5 or you can have any value 1.5, 1.6, 1.7, 2 volt like this. Then this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. Now clubbing these two equations, E1 by E2 is nothing but L1 by L2. Oh. So therefore, by comparing the balancing lengths, you can compare the EMFs of two given cells. Suppose if you know the EMF of one cell, the EMF of the other cell can be what? Easily determined. Suppose here you have connected a dry cell which is bought from a shop. So it is 1.5 volt, very fresh cell, 1.5 volt. Here you have connected a Leclanche cell. You do not know what is its EMF. Then what will happen? E1 by E2 equals L1 by L2.